Hello everybody and welcome back into my messy little shop here on my small farm channel. Today I want to take a look at the riding lawnmower that we picked up for free at the free sale. Added a little gas to it. One of the neighbors donated a battery and wouldn't you know, this damn thing works. So that is incredible. But the question that I've got is just how much will it work for? I've been watching a lot of videos about lawnmowers, riding mowers, yard tractors, garden tractors, small utility tractors. There is a whole wide world of tractors out there and I want all of them. But I don't need all of them. I need a couple of small ones and I'll probably be good for 10, 15 years based on the kind of land that we're currently looking at. I don't mind spending a little bit of time if it means spending a lot less cash, you know what I'm saying? So that said, I'm kind of fallen in love with a lot of the tractors that I've seen in the 4 and 5 series on the John Deere site. The prices are a little ouch. But at the same time, you know, it's not too different from the price of a car. And most people, as I was kind of picking up from some of the videos I've been watching over the last couple of days, most people will keep their car for like 5-6 years and then they'll consider replacing it. I keep my car until it dies, but that's just me. Whereas most farmers will keep their tractor for 10, 20, 30 years. So as long as you maintain your tractor, it's actually going to last, which is a much better value proposition than you get out of your average car. Because it doesn't matter how well you maintain one of these modern cars, they're all crap. So I'm not necessarily concerned about the amount of money I'm going to have to spend on a tractor. I just don't think I have it now, nor do I expect to have it anytime soon. And honestly, for what I'm going to have to spend on a tractor, I know right now I could run up to the next door town and buy myself a 10-acre parcel for that same amount of cash. So I would rather buy the 10 acres and worry about the tractor then, which kind of gets us to where we're at today and for what I'm thinking about for my poor little free Craftsman riding mower. Riding mowers are not technically tractors. They are built to a much different grade and the metal on them it's a lot weaker from what I'm hearing and from what I'm seeing, and the engines are mounted differently. This is a lawnmower. This is a lawnmower engine. So that basically means that this goes straight down to fire up the pulley, and then the pulley does whatever. You know, in this case it's going to be moving the blades on the deck. In some situations you can attach additional pulleys for additional equipment, but I do not think that this particular lawnmower ever had that in mind. It doesn't have a huge fuel tank, but I am able to get 90 minutes plus running time out of this without running it dry. The only time I've run this thing dry is when I tried to drive it into town to get to the gas station. Kind of ironic, but perfectly appropriate for my life. Hardly uses any oil right now. The frame seems to be square for now. That little 11 horsepower Briggs does tend to warm up pretty fierce though while I'm mowing the lawn. It is half an acre plus the back 40. So what I do generally when I park this is I just pop the hood open, let it get a little bit more cooling taken care of that way. I still haven't fixed the front tire, which does have a slow leak, but I can top that up as I go for most things. Now, looking on the back of this particular lawnmower, right, Craftsman lawnmower, we see that it is set up to receive something. You know, this is not serious metal by any means, 12 gauge maybe, and I wouldn't want to pull a lot of weight with this because it doesn't look like it's welded in or very securely attached or anything. So I'm going to have to find out just kind of what weight I can pull with this and what kind of torque I can demand from this, because there are a few things that I would like this to do while I'm trying to figure out how to afford both land and a decent tractor. And yes, I am aware there are large farm equipment auctions that happen all the time. I'm a huge fan of the Ritchie Brothers company. I actually used to work with them years and years ago when I was a much younger man doing security back on the coast. And I've seen a lot of good equipment go through there. I was watching a Ritchie Brothers live auction online the other day. Saw a lot of really good looking equipment going through there. That said, new has warranties, new has guaranteed parts. There are advantages to both sides of that situation. Odds are I will probably buy a used tractor when we get onto land as the first tractor purchase. Something small, you know, something with a decent PTO so that I can hook up a few other implements behind it. And then once the farm, because it will be a farm by then, starts to produce some profits, then I can look into buying a new piece of equipment, be it a case or a Kubota or a New Holland or a John Deere or whatever. I have a lot of John Deere toys, and I'm particularly fond of the shade of green. However, that will not be what makes my decision for me. I don't care what color my tractor is. It's going to be dirt color by the time I'm done with it at the end of any given day. So yeah, I'm not too worried about that. What I am worried about is whether or not this lawnmower is going to be able to do a couple of things that I really, really want to make it do to, what's the way to put it? Facilitate me faking a tractor, okay? It's basically what it boils down to. Fake it till you make it, right? I would like to be able to use this old beast, this free old beast, to cultivate some land. Which means I want to be able to rip up any sod that's down there. I want to be able to bust any chunks. You know, I'm not looking to necessarily moldboard plow or anything deep, because I don't think this has got the torque for that. But I am toying with the idea of some sort of flat, weighted sled with a bunch of spikes going down. I could get some, what do they call it, a ready rod with the threading on it. Do it like 6 and 9. Oh, excuse me, hiccups. Do it like 6 and 9 inches down. And hopefully that would rip up any roots and whatever that I might encounter that would really be problematic for me with a larger garden patch. Because even here, we're talking about going much larger with the garden, especially if I can make this, well, do all the tricks that I'm hoping I can. So, if I can make this pull a sled, a weighted sled with spikes on it, rip up the grass, rip up some soil, then I've got a slightly better planting surface. The next thing I want to try and fake is a seed drill. Because, well, it's not necessarily necessary for our half-acre lot. We could easily go along and step PVC corn. Step PVC, drop the corn down. I'm sure you've seen that planter. Looks great. Don't have to bend over. Fantastic. But, yeah, I would rather be able to put in a couple pounds of corn seeds and drive along in hopefully my at least harrowed area, if not actually cultivated, and, you know, have it drop seeds at specific locations at the proper spacing, right? So I think if I make a seed drill, I got a much better chance of proper spacing. And those of you who watch my main JT Bear channel, you're fully aware of how much of an issue that was, ever shall be for me with corn. So yeah, I'd like to make a seed drill. I'd like to make it work for corn, peas, beans, whatever. I'll have to make different discs for that. I don't think that will be too much of a problem for this, because I'm going to go with a really basic sort of a wagon type situation. I'm only going to be putting in 2 rows, because apparently corn on a farming scale gets planted with the rows like 30 inches apart, which makes sense because then you've got like enough room to walk between them. But who walks in their cornfields anymore? Everybody drives a tractor, you know? Anyway, so to meet that specification, I am going to set it up so that my rows are 30 inches apart, and then I'm going to do like a 15-inch spacer out the side so I can line those up and, you know, try and make it like a really real farm, even though it's just our half-acre yard space right now, right? So I think I should be able to make a seed drill. I've kind of figured that out. I think I figured out how to make a tow-behind sprayer that goes on this. I mean, that should be the easiest project, and that should give me the least resistance. It's going to be a cart on wheels ultimately, so there's no reason this shouldn't be able to pull that. I'm not expecting any long-term negative effects on this little Craftsman from that. However, I was drawing and doodling, like I do, and trying to come up with some sort of a drag-behind sweet corn harvesting setup that doesn't look totally Frankenstein. And well, I haven't mastered that last part, but I have a few interesting ideas about hedge trimmers and batteries and inverters and all kinds of stuff. So eventually we will get to that. But today I just kind of wanted to take a look at the Craftsman riding mower, let you guys know what I intend to do with it and kind of where I'm at thinking in terms of tractors and land and things like that, because this is, after all, my small farm channel. Keyword here, farm, right? So I want to thank y'all for hanging out while I babble in the shop today, taking a look at what I've got, what I want, you know, kind of where I'm going. And I'm really excited to continue sharing these adventures with you guys as I continue to develop not only this property, but moving on to a larger chunk of land, 10, 20, 50 acres, we'll see, right? Time will tell. Finances are what they are. When the opportunity knocks, then I'll know for sure what kind of piece of land I'm moving onto. But I want to be prepared, and I want to practice on this piece of land. So yes, thank you very much for joining me, and I will see you in the next random video here on my small farm channel.